Hello, guys. Hope you're all doing well. This is TJ, and you're listening to Beyond the Ring podcast. And welcome to my review of special episode of Dynamite AEW Road Rager. And Road Rager was it's an interesting show, a fun show to watch through. It was easy to watch through. It wasn't that wrestling heavy that I actually expected because. They, even though they have less matches and all, they sure delivered every week. They have good wrestling, but very good wrestling. Somewhat, but all the matches here wasn't that very good in the range of very good, but it was a decent to good, pretty decent to pretty good, I could say that. And it wasn't that bad enough. The show actually was into that. You can say that it actually got into a level of enjoyment and entertaining when the promos and segments came on, and the debut and of Malakai Black, aka Alistair Black, finally is all elite. So that was shocking, man. And that was the thing. And also the including of UFC guys into this thing, Dan Lambert and all and Amanda Nunes, and that they were also there watching the Dynamite. So that was a good addition to the feel of the whole thing, and it was a good comeback and a good return, a good crowd return for AEW. Certainly it was an enjoyable show. Crowd returned. I'm so excited for WWE as well now. So AEW was success, and next week it's gonna be at Texas, I think so. Yeah. So a match first we got was South Beach strap match between Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall. This match worked well with the crowd, and there was reaction. Cody always get the reaction because he's a baby face, and that there's another chapter in the saga of QT Marshall and Cody Rhodes. Didn't expect it to be, but it happened, and this was fun to watch. They actually also teased well, like who's gonna touch the corner. First it was QT Marshall and then Cody, and then they also have some cool moves as well, wrestling moves as well. Cody actually began this match before the bell rang. He actually had the suicide dive on QT Marshall, so that was a good beginning there. And it was a all in all fun match. I do hope this is the end, and I should not say hope because it's the end, because Malakai Black is the next for Cody Rhodes and the Nightmare family. I think this could be a whole family feud or something. But who's in the family of Alistair Black? Then I'm just thinking that please relate him to Dark Order. Make him the Dark Order leader. That would be great, man. You should start writing on that. And I'm sure that faction, which is kind of deflated now, could be in a very big inflated kind of faction. If they actually, ever since Brody Lee actually passed away, it wasn't that they are acting like jobbers, and kind of have didn't have any feuds, just here and there matches and all. They were kind of booked very well. So kind of heel faction they were. So I thought about that. This is the right time they could pull the trigger, and I do hope that they do. So the match itself, as I said, was a good fun watch, and they in the end we saw Cody actually spits on QT Marshall actually spits on Cody, and Cody hits three crossroads, and Cody actually hits four corner, and that was it. And Cody picks up the victory, and that was this match, and enjoyed this match. What are your thoughts on this match? Tell me in the comment section below. And we get to the next segment where Shaw Spears talk about the chair shot he actually let out on AEW last week on Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara comes up. He actually also hit on him, and he says that you got a bitch. He says this is far from Homer, far from over, and he ends it. That's a segment. The segments were also a good add-on to the storyline as well, and and they are really telling to fans that this is not over, guys. This is still gonna be a big part of the AEW storyline. So let's see then how they can make the interesting this inner circle pinnacle thing, so storyline. And we are back, and Tony is in the ring, and he introduces the world champion Kenny Omega. Omega comes out with Gallus, and good reception for Kenny Omega. And yeah, maybe he's a heel, but still he was very much cheered somewhat. And Don says he doesn't want Tony to speak. He tells him go wait in the corner, and seems like a great time to give everyone a history lesson, says Don Callis. And because the last several months they have made history, they says. And they says you got fired, chant Don. And Don says real man don't quit, and they get fired. Kenny Omega's accomplishments and all were being discussed. He defeated Ray Phoenix, defeated Jungle Boy. He sure missed Orange Cassidy and Park. I don't know why. That's a big matchup, double or nothing matchup he missed upon. And he and Omega have won so many titles around the world. He says he had to get an entourage just to transport the belts. So just bragging about all of our fans are in the presence of greatness, and fans are chanting. Fans kind of started chanting for Hangman Adam Page when Don Callis said that uh, there's no one who actually is left for Kenny Omega, and we want Hangman chant begins. And Don is here to tell us what we want. But Dark Orders comes up, and their music cuts off. Here's Evil Uno, and there comes up. Uno says he has spent I thought about Evil Uno is going to be the next challenger or something, maybe kind of a filler feud. Says he spent the last few minutes listening to Omega and his weird uncle talk. And I do had known about that back of my mind. Adam Page could be coming to challenge here, so that's why they are doing this segment. And he has some questions. He says Omega and his weird uncle talk, and he has some questions. Uno wants to know why Omega is ignoring the crowd, and why is he ignoring the number one ranked wrestler. Why is he so afraid of Evil Uno's friend? Omega says Uno's got a lot of questions. Omega has a question as well. What's the capital of Thailand? And he says, are we into the kiss show or something? And Omega hits a bang onto the gets a low blow, kicking to the low blow region, and here comes Gallows and Anderson to attack Dark Order. They hold Evil Uno up, ready for a belt shot, until the music of Hangman hits, loudest pops, and he enters and attacks. He beats on the Good Brother, sends Anderson over the top rope, then sends Gallows over the top, over after. Page hops onto the apron and kind of was going to hit that buckshot lariat, but he turns. Page drops on the apron, stares Omega down. Page enters the ring. So exciting, man. Just kind of that stare off and starting off that feud from last week. That was great, man. Expecting this to be a banger match, and hope Hangman Adam Page defeats Kenny Omega in the first attempt. And Anderson on the apron distracts Page, and Page sends him off, and Omega runs away. And he tried to attack Adam Page, but because of the distraction, but he ran away then. And great segment. These are some of the segments. This segment was good, and the MJF Jericho segment was good. The segments and promos were good enough to entertain this show. Actually, we head to backstage where JR is sitting on a chair with Darby and Ethan on either side of him, and he tells both men he's disgusted and uneasy. Jim Ross asks why is this hatred going on? Animosity between you and Ethan. Ethan says there's nothing really sad about it. Maybe Darby deserves it. And Ethan is about to talk, but Darby speaks up. His first year in wrestling, he says why was Ethan's 12, and this fact Ethan couldn't stand it. Darby has no walls of complacency. He says he was homeless, living in his car. Look at Ethan. It's not Darby's fault. Ethan got married, never left his hometown, and had kids. Darby left everything. Ethan was the big fish in the little pond. He says the promo delivery was good. Pretty decent, I would say. Not much very interesting, having a face off or something, but still it was just there. And he can't stand Darby made it before him. He couldn't stand, he says. So he's egoistic. He's all ego, Ethan Page. So he's egoistic about the success and accomplishment that Darby Allin has got, because they both go back to the indie days, I think. So they have worked with each other. So that's the story here. So in the end, he says. Uh, it drives him insane that every day people have told him that he'd be a star making money. He's got to watch a little runt and kid paint his face up to hide the fact that without Ethan, Darby would be nothing. He brought Darby into this wrestling business and he will take him out, he says. And Jack closes them out, saying doesn't have an easy feeling about this. Ethan says he shouldn't. So that was this segment, a pretty decent segment to further their rivalry. So that was there. And we get to the second match, which was FTR and Wardlow versus Santana. Uh, FTR and Wardlow versus Santana Ortiz and Jake Hager. So this match, a decent match, I would say, not a very good match. I mean, for a decent match, I can say that they worked out very well with the crowd, and they worked out normal match that they do, and didn't have any exceptional kind of that you would miss upon by not watching this match. We saw FTR and Wardlow and Jake Hager's face off, and they wrestling, and Santana Ortiz FTR they doing their stuff, and pile drivers, power bombs, rope assisted jump and all, belly to belly on cash wheelers, clothesline to cash, another to Dax, and I'm just reading out the main things that actually happened. We also saw Otis actually counters with a brain buster, attacks Hager in the end. He comes in, splashes Cash in the corner, hits a Hager bomb, leg cup, so Hager grabs an ankle lock. Dax attacks the back of the head whip to Hager, reversed big boot to Dax after he sends Santana off the apron. Hager sees Wardlow, he wants him, he allows the tag. Here comes Wardlow, they lock up right by Hager again, headbutt right back and forth. And in the end, we saw Wardlow shoots the leg, Hager rolls through, ankle lock to Wardlow. In comes Cash, right fist to Cash, shove to Dax, and Wardlow attacks from behind, big rig from FTR, and gets 1, 2, 3. So Pinnacle, that was a good booking. Pinnacle should bad guys haven't that got their victories since Double or Nothing. So Pinnacle got the victory finally. So I'm far from over with this rivalry. Actually, I'm not finding any interesting thing. Actually, they are having a match just for the sake of it. Not interesting. I mean, they could have some interesting thing if they could some kind of introduce any dissension angle in any group or something. That could lead to, that's a problem of having two top factions each other. It's pretty difficult to be to have two top factions in your product. So because I hope so, if AEW Rampage is kind of brand split kind of thing, maybe Pinnacle can go into Rampage or something, or Inner Circle can go into Rampage. So that's my view here. So because then there would be no interesting thing that's going on. Just they are having matches and all, and they already have destroyed, it's over delivered actually. So there's nothing left actually to deliver. They already had done all the things, and all the blood and guts, double stadium stampede, so much of things, man, they have did. So there's nothing to say that there's needs a third match or something, but they are doing kind of a singles and tag team rivalry, and that's the thing they're doing. And Conan actually stupidly, I don't know why, he enters the ring to attack Wardlow from behind. I mean, what he was thinking, like, was he thinking like he was in WCW days from behind with a soak full of shit? Tully trips him with a chop block, I think so. Pinnacle leaves happy while Otis and Satana check on Conan. So Conan tried, but he got them from Pinnacle. Carl Anderson gets a promo, so we had a confirmation, a great match confirmed for next week. I mean, we are saying finally that Carl Anderson singles matchup. I have not seen Carl Anderson's singles match that much, so we are going to witness that IWGP US Championship match against John Moxley versus Carl Anderson. So great match. I mean, so excited for that. Next week card is also very packed and very good card. I would state that, and he says Carl Anderson talks about IWGP US Championship, how the fact that Moxley has it makes him sick. He will defend it next week against Anderson, so he's ready. He says, and we saw some clips from his New Japan days as well. So quite a lot of things he accomplished in as a tag team. As AEW had a lot of tag teams, so they're kind of shuffled. They're kind of lost here and there because of their because of the because of the impact thing and all the Kenny Omega stuff that's been going on. So that's why MJF MJF Jericho is the next segment, and they are out. Jericho's music hits, and MJF tells them to cut it off real quick. And we also have Jericho being tried by a fan to beat him up, but Jericho had a punch he got, so they didn't show show the fan actually who he was, but. They really panned out camera to the crowd, so that's why we didn't see. And and he says that he said that Jericho says that he beaten Jericho twice. MJF says he's beaten Jericho twice, and he's here begging. It's sad he doesn't blame Jericho. Everyone wants a rub. I mean, MJF, he just molds the promo very well, man. I mean, it's just so well. One of the excellent character portrayal by any wrestler in AEW. I mean, excellent character portrayal by MJF. And Jericho says he should have just let that fat bastard come in here and beat MJF's ass. This was all for crowd. Crowd were reacting back and forth to MJF and Chris Jericho. Such a great exchange between them, and they really know how to work the crowd very well. So that's why they did here. So Jericho says he won't back down from them. He will accept any step. He'll stand in front of a truck. He'll swim in a lake. He will even have the sex with a mother, MJF's mother. I mean, again, he says. Jericho pauses and says again, and MJ says these people wants him to get rattled, and that's not going to happen because you can't get into my head. So it's a shame they got here. MJ used to look up to Jericho. He followed Jericho his entire career. He cut the same promo there. Been saying for many weeks. Remembers when Jericho was at odds with John Moxley, had a throwback to their rivalry with John Moxley. Remember that? What did he put John through in order to get a match with Jericho? He had to order every person in the inner circle. And Kama sucks. He says he wants to do what MJF does best, and this is going to be happen. Jericho will have 5 labors, and that 5 labors are the guys from the Pinnacle, and they would be facing in every singles match with a different stipulation. And Jericho will have to win these matches back to back with stipulations in each match, and the fifth stipulation will be Jericho versus MJF one more time. That stipulation is not confirmed. So what is a stipulation for all these guys? That isn't confirmed. So big news that actually is a big question mark that's being what's a whole stipulation for each match and MJF match. That's they really said that it's going to be a stipulation match. What stipulation is going to be, but they didn't deliver it. So I kind of wasn't in. I wasn't kind of. I mean, they didn't deliver it. The promo in the promo, I lost into the promo. It was excellent. It was good, great work by MJF and Jericho. But they didn't clear what the stipulation is. At least for MJF Jericho, they could have told that. So they didn't tell. And when MJ beats him for a third time, they say so. He says hopefully he will understand that MJ is better than him. And now you know it. And he ends that, and Jericho says he can't withstand his labels of Jericho, and if he can't beat MJF, maybe doesn't deserve to be in AEW. He says Jericho says he's the god of battle, god of thunder, the god of war, and beat MJF and ruin his life the way MJF tried to ruin Chris Jericho's life. And Jericho signs off. MJF yells for him to wait, this ain't over. Wait, he says before he leaves. MJF doesn't come from a dumpster fire like Miami. He mocks the crowd. He comes from Long Island, and there's a deal is not done until both parties shake hands. They shook hands. MJF did. I thought about that MJF was gonna strike, but it was Jericho, man. He hit the Judas effect, and he was laid down out cold. So that was a segment, a good, very great segment, which worked very well with the crowd. I mean, so excited to see their match, actually, Jericho MJF match, and hopefully this should be the ending. I think so. This could be in All Out. I guess so. Maybe, or maybe in the AEW Fight for Fallen. That's 3 weeks from now. I guess so. So we had average segment between Britt Baker, Tony Schiavone's interviewing, saying she was forced to take part in this match, which she wanted not part of. The only positive for that was Britt got a win, but at what cost? Look at Reba, she was hurt. Tony Khan should feel terrible. She says she makes him millions, draws him millions. So what for what? So Vicky can bring Andrade. Reba's knee exploded and she almost died. And she mocks Tony Khan because he got a bloody money. Maybe next week AEW can run in Saudi Arabia. I know what they did. I mean, they mocked WWE again. I mean, what's the matter for them? I don't know, man. Just WWE doesn't do that. I mean, what the hell they are doing this? I mean, what's the thing they are proving? I mean, they're even though they are not the best or something, they could never be WWE, man. They are the top. They are the top promotion. I mean, there's a plethora of errors that WWE do. I accept that. I mean, just having upper hand onto the promo and all, just mocking them. I mean, what's the point there? I don't know. And they also did the Conan stuff. Jim Cornette wasn't that Jim Cornette, not Jim Cornette. Who was it? Bully Ray wasn't that kind of a fan. What Conan actually did. Was it Conan or I don't remember who it was. No, it was Eddie Kingston actually. Yeah. No, no, man. I don't like to get into this stuff and all. I just like to enjoy wrestling and all. Even though I know about this bad things going on and all, even though I don't want to do that. So I'm not a very good. I'm not just acting like a good person or something. But I know that. But still, it is what it is. And Andrade comes out looking like Black Mask. From Batman or something. He doesn't look like Andrade El Idolo. So this was a third match, Matt Seidel versus Andrade El Idolo. I had a great expectation from this match, but unfortunately, this match wasn't that great. I mean, the crowd also wasn't that very well with this match as well. I mean, they had a reaction well, but had they didn't have any very good story. Just they had a I mean, Matt Saddle interrupted Andrade later low when he came out. That's the story here. But story was bad just to make a debut match for Andrade later low, but still a good debut for pretty good. I mean, pretty decent. You can say debut for another decent match. You could say after the Inner Circle tag team match and Pinnacle tag team match. Andrade Idolo picked up the victory with double knees. His finisher. He's using that same finisher and. Matt Seidel worked with Andrade well. Wasn't that very good chemistry here because Andrade is also a lucha kind of wrestler, but Matt Seidel is not a very luchastic, but he also does innovative maneuvers and all. He's kind of John Morrison. You could say that. Not skilled at the level of John Morrison, but still had a very have a very resemblance with him. So there was a decent moments here and there, a decent match that we got here. Andrade hits the corners, runs with the knees to the back, and rolls Matt into the middle of the ring and locks up with a hammerlock DDT, and Elidolo gets victory. And I don't think so. He's going to be into the AEW champion for sometime now, right? Maybe he could be, into the TNT championship or something. That could be a very good match, Andrade versus Miro or something. Yeah, so we didn't see championship matches also in the show. That actually had a pretty. We didn't require the whole championship, but on the line. But still, I expected a TNT or something, or maybe some TNT championship would have been there on the line, but it was not. So they have Fighter Fest night 1, night 1, 2, night 2, and Fight for the Fallen. So their championship matches are there. So a small match, decent match. And Matt Hardy and Christian Cage promo is next, where and they get a video package with each dude's getting some good digs. And in the ring, Tony is holding the mic for Arn Anderson, and Tony says they must be good for head coach Arn, and Arn says it's great to be in Miami tonight. They miss the crowd. So this thing that was going on throughout this show, the light was gone. Two times, it was the third time that the lights go out, and I was sure someone is gonna debut or something. But man, and just when lights come up and Alistair Black, I mean Malakai Black, who was in the ring, I mean, I was just shocked, man. I said, oh my god, man, oh my god. I wasn't expecting, I mean, I didn't think about that 90-day non-compete clause, but I wasn't expecting that he was in the AEW, but because just last week her wife actually debuted in WWE SmackDown, so returned on to SmackDown. I just really thought about that they could work around Alistair Black and get him returned to the ring at SmackDown or something, and continue that storyline with Big E. I mean, no man. He debuted with AEW. I'm very happy with what he had done here, and I watched the promo. I watched the promo that he actually cut. Had a video package, that a character video package that they had, that was swirling around in the social media and Twitter, and I watched that. That was interesting, but didn't think that so I do think about that, maybe something kind of a package or something. I mean, repackaging or something. Alistair Black could be returning for SmackDown or something. That was there, or maybe another promotion, but didn't expect this much sooner, man. This was just last night I watched it, and just I mean, when I watched the show this morning, and he's here. I mean, oh man, it was shocking. He hits the Black Mass. They didn't say the finisher name, so I will say Black Mass finisher on Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson is out cold. Cody comes on checking Arn Anderson, and Cody says, "What the hell are you doing?" And Aleister Black also gets one for Cody as well. Cody's laid out, and he walks upon just they dropped the ball, man. I mean, WWE, they dropped the ball. They shouldn't have fired him, because if he would have fired, they would have fired him before the storyline build up and all, the whole Dark Father thing that they were doing for 2 to 3 weeks. It couldn't have been a kind of a very complaint that they were. That would be have like my fans would be say that he's better, like nothing's that no plans are there. Uh, he's going, so okay, he's going because no plans are there for them, no storylines are there. But they had a whole storyline. Even literally, Alistair Black also told that he also had the character that and the promos and all the things laid out on his mind, but they didn't give him the opportunity. They were thinking about the budget. I mean, just want didn't want to think what's the budget problem for WWE. They are in the profits ever than they were in 10 or 20 years. I mean, in pandemic actually they were in the profits without live events. So what the hell, man? And I don't know why they really lost it. They really lost it. They really lost. I mean, this is the big time loss, bigger than Braun Strowman, I would think so. I mean, really. And I was very high on him. He's my favorite. He was my favorite ever since NXT. His whole character. He could have been a next dark gimmick, just like Undertaker. He couldn't have never be Undertaker. Could have been, but now, man, just ranting towards it. And Tommy and his Excalibur says, I faced him 15 years ago or something. He says in an arena or something. He says it's not Tommy, and he says it's Tommy, and then he says it's not Tommy, and it's Malakai Black, and oh my god. Jim Ross thing was very funny. He says, oh my god, and he's like, Jim Ross thinking is like, oh man, I would have to run down his name every week or so when he comes out. I mean, this name is so difficult. Yeah, even Tony Schiavone also gets the name wrong for Andrade El Idolo. He says Andre, and another Black Mass. We got confirmed that he will going by Malakai Black, and I don't know what the spelling it is. It's MLAKI or what CHI or something. Really fun name. Very had a very touch of Dakota Kai. Really Malakai that they got him. So Black shows Bruce right sort of says so, very good storytelling as well. Really, because he still sells that injury, that eye injury that they had in Rey Mysterio feud. So that's a great transition into, you are coming to a new company, still you are selling that injury like a legit injury. That's great storytelling, man, by Alistair Black. Just so professional in what he does. So that's what actually we saw there. So fans are appreciating. Also, Buddy Murphy also had the tweet that, how's your eye doing? I hope so, it's good. I mean, he didn't respond, but it was good tweet by Buddy Murphy as well. So that's there. I hope so Buddy Murphy could also be into the AEW route. I think so. He could be a great addition to AEW. such a big guy. And earlier tonight, we move on to the next segment where Tricky starts in the ring with his own page. So uh, before this, so Cody versus Aleister Black is a new rivalry, I guess. I don't think so. Brock Anderson could have match or something, but the main rivalry is gonna be, I think so. Cody versus Aleister Black could be a great rivalry. I mean, yeah. And we go to the next segment. Earlier tonight, Ricky Starks in the ring with his own paid for security to explain why he is not clear to compete. And Taz came out to say that it's embarrassing, but Ricky stops him and says Cage doesn't know the meaning of teammate. That's why he wasn't agreeing to the things that they were actually were used to doing upon. And if that means protecting himself, then after he becomes FTW champion, he will party like the one like. He will party like one, he says. And a decent promo, I would say, that just to further that match that which will be for next week. Just a small build there. Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage could be a good match. I mean, I want Ricky Starks to display his get time in wrestling with Brian Cage more here, because he really is a very underutilized and underappreciated talent. I mean, he's so good at promos, and he should be ranked on. He should be ranked onto a better storyline or something. He should break off from this team task thing as well. He's better developed than I mean, including this team task thing. We get to the fourth match, which was a mixed tag team match. The Bunny and the Blade was Chris Statlander and Orange Cassidy. A pretty decent match, I would say. That nothing new out there. We last week saw this match actually, Chris Statlander versus actually Blade. I think so. It was Chris Statlander versus Bunny, where Orange Cassidy and Blade were in the ringside. So that made this match a tag team match, mixed tag team match. The first ever mixed tag team match, a good match. I mean, a decent match. What wasn't that very surprise? Wasn't that very exceptional or great or something? Good wrestling right there. And in the end, we saw Orange was knocked out of by the same. Knuckles by Blade actually. Ref was distracted by Bunny actually. So Orange looks on as Blade puts on another set of knucks. Orange goes for the orange punch. Blade with a huge punch to the face. Bunny grabs the knuckles. Blade hovers and covers. Blade heads over and covers up. He says Chris Chandler isn't legal. Is legal though. Chris shoves Bunny into Blade, and they actually fall down. Chris hits with a Big Bang Theory on Bunny, and she ain't kicking out, and she covered 1, 2, 3. That's it. A good babyface victory there, just to have a cheer on crowd, and that was it. A pretty decent match, average match, you could say that. And we get to another segment which was uncalled for. I think so. That made something interesting. I liked about that, and we go to the crowd with Dan Lambert. I haven't seen this guy. Where wants to talk to Amanda Nunes, but no one said anything doing about an interview or endorsing the show or something. He was skeptical as an old school fan. He says he was skeptical for one reason, and the reason is that he was literally hate speeching AEW. He's literally mocking AEW because he's literally was disrespecting wrestling. Actually, wrestling wasn't wrestling isn't the same when it was in 90s or something. But Tony says that it's changed now. They have old school feels, and when back in the days, guys like Eddie Graham, Valentine, Funk, and Race, and Briscoe and Rhodes, they were the fans of him. But wrestling has gone downhill since 1990. Says product is unwatchable. He says, but Tony said AEW is going in the right way. They have a locker room representing every genre, from lucha to strong style, mix of veterans to go along with the up and comers. He cut a very good promo, just laid out very fast. I mean, was so fast. I mean, was tough to figure out. I mean, just rambling about it. And then Tony Khan smiled and said the best thing they got is their fan base. He says that he's 90 minutes into the show, and he's got to say to always trust your instincts. And he was just ripping about AEW, that about his instinct is what he told. So he come about. I don't know why Lance Archer come about, but Tony Schiavone says he's listened. So much, and that's why he came out kind of. And maybe you could see another celebrity kind of Dan Lambert versus Lance Archer or something. And the outcomes Archer, he clocks Lambert, hits the blackout on him. Good segment, I would say that. Promo delivery was good by this guy Dan Lambert, and yeah, I received it well. I received it, but didn't know why Lance Archer actually come out. Yeah. So match fifth, the main event, which was AEW World Tag Team Championship match. So in the last week, it wasn't a confirmed street fight, but in the weeks to in the leading into this match, they confirmed this is going to be a street fight. I do know why they did, and AEW also always have a main event which works well with the crowd, and I was sure that it's going to be a spot fest kind of a match, a pretty good match. I would say that good, a fun main event. I had a fun in this main event. Not great match or something, not a very best match, a Young Bucks match, but pretty decent, decent to good main event. I would say that they worked out very well. Penta, Zero, Miro, and Eddie Kingston worked out their match with high spots and all. Young Bucks also had their heel tactics and some fun stuff with Brandon Cutler and all, and that was good. And we actually saw a power bomb into the back of the table. Penta is on the apron, destroyed to the mat on the table on the outside. That was good. So high spot match just to feed the crowd, and the crowd was well. They were excited, so that was it. That was the thing. They want to have the fans back, happy, go back happily. So that was the motive here, and they did it very really well. And they could pull over this kind of match any day, and they are I mean, they are expert in that. And we also saw 450 splash to the referee just to don't have Matt tap, because as he was on the submission by Eddie, rear naked choke. And here comes the Good Brothers and the usual stuff. They attack Eddie and Penta. Penta gets them to outside, attack Eddie, and Penta hooks up the fear factor, hits it, back fist from Eddie Kingston, cover for, but doesn't get it. And Kazarian comes up. I mean, the Kazarian thing is, they are doing this thing every now and then. Maybe we could get Kazarian versus or some Kazarian versus someone in the, not a six-man tag or something. The Kazarian, Frankie Kazarian is involved. I don't know why Frankie Kazarian is here, but it's a good babyface victory just to save them. And Kazarian with a close line to Nick, he rolls into the ring. Kazarian is attacked with a magic color by the Good Brothers. Eddie is in the ring with thumb back tags, bag of thumb tags. Matt grabs a bunch of thumbtacks. He tosses them into the mat in the face. The Matt grabs Eddie. Penta with the trash can that smacks Matt. Nick on the apron. The ending was fun. It sure was the unpredictable ending, but that swinging off the trash can was a good opening for a slight opening for them. But Penta with a high kick, Penta to the top, Nick with right hands, elbow to the neck, Penta to top rope again, Nick to the top, and Nick with Hurricane Ra off the top into Tampax and cover, but he kicked out. No selling match. Eddie shoving up Nick into the pin. Eddie fights with the chop to each buck, hits the rope, super kick to Eddie. Nick grabs tags and tosses them into the face of Penta. Kick to Penta and thumbtacks to the mouth of Kingston, and have a cover 1, 2, 3. And this was a shenanigan match, shenanigan and spot fest, as well as no selling match. That's not a very good explanation for this match, but for a good explanation, I would say that a good, fun, well worked crowd match. I think so. You liked the way I said. So that's a match. They ended the show very well. Fun main event, solid way they end the show, and this was the show. I don't want to compare, but still, if you ask. Which show was better for me? In cards and in wrestling perspective, I would say NXT Great American Bash was good, and by shocking and just having entertaining segments and all, and that's a point for AEW. They really did hook up this. A pretty good card into us, just kind of a good good show actually, a good show actually. You can say that nothing else, nothing more or nothing less. A good show. You can say that they really tried it into that. The wrestling wasn't that great, but still with the segments and the debut of Malakai Black, Alistair Black, the storyline build up and all that, Hangman Adam Page and stuff, and that was great, man. Yeah. So MJF Jericho thing, that's the another thing. Even though they didn't explain what's the separation for MJF Jericho, which I was expecting, and the whole fans were expecting. Wow, that wasn't there. And the two tag matches, Bunny match, the Orange Cassidy match, and the Inner Circle match was decent matches. That's there, but. The whole show was a pretty good show, I would say. And what's your opinion on this show? And how do you compare this show with the NXT Great American Bash? I mean, just have your fair thought. Don't complain. Just have your fair thought in the comment section below. So AEW began with their crowd returned with a very good start, and next they are heading towards Cedar Park, Texas next week with the AEW Dynamite Fighter Fest Night 1, and we have a stacked card actually. First match we have the IWGP United States Championship on the line. John Moxley defends his title against Karl Anderson. Great match, I expect from them. And Coffin match is confirmed as well. Darby Allin versus Ethan Page. We saw a sit-down interview, so that's get confirmed actually. And we have Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks. So their rivalry, team task rivalry, is gonna be we'll be seeing who's on the upper hand, who's gonna win, and eventually if they continue with their if they continue to be involving Ricky Starks and Brian Cage in a team task, that's a question mark. So that a match that would be fairly look upon. That I fairly look upon, and we have Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage. In paper, the storyline wasn't very great or something, but we see this you can say that this kind of a yearly long rivalry because they have back in the day for in WWE as well. So could be a great match, this match as well. So we have Penelope Ford versus Yuka Sakazaki. So out of nowhere, I mean, they no story match, but I think so. Well worked match would be seen from them. So we all will also hear from Hangman Adam Page on his this AEW World Championship situation and all, and what he thinks about and how he's going about. Is he gonna challenge or is he gonna what he's gonna do? We will see that. And Fight of His Night One is already sold out, and so expecting a great show, a great stacked card. I'm very excited for Fight of His Night One. Looks great. The most two matches that I'm excited for is John Moxley versus Karl Anderson, and another match is Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage, and Darby Allin versus Ethan Page as well. I mean, that's the first Coffin match that AEW doing, so that's new as well. So Hangman Adam Page segment, that's also a thing that I'm very looking forward to. So my expectation that is that John Moxley would be retaining the United States Championship, IWGP United States Championship. Darby Allin versus Ethan Page. I think so. Ethan Page had a victory last time, so Darby Allin should eventually get the victory because that actually tells the story well because of his gimmick and all. So Darby Allin getting the victory in this Coffin match. Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks. I think so that maybe Ricky Starks could get the role of victory on Brian Cage, getting the upper hand on Brian Cage. I think so that could be the way it should do. Brian Cage is already built up, and even though Ricky Starks loses, there's no problem in that. But I do think that Ricky Starks should have a victory on a high-profile superstar, so high-profile wrestler. So Brian Cage can start it off with him. Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage. I think so that the heel would win because all the whole Hardy family office. That's the wrestling 101 booking that I'm saying. Matt Hardy wins here. So if they want to continue the storyline into some kind of stipulation that they always do, so think so that would be happening. Penelope Ford versus Yuka Sakazaki, no story matchup. I do think so. Like Yuka Sakazaki would be picking up victory here, and Hangman Adam Page. We'll see what it happens and all. So that's not a match, and I do expect a very good show. Expecting a great show from AEW Fight of Us Night 1. And tell me in the comment section about that as well. How well are you excited for this show? I mean, a stacked month for AEW whole. I mean, for WWE coming back. I mean, so exciting month for wrestling fans. Just starting out with the crowds coming back. AEW started off very well, very good crowd. So excited to listen their noise and the reaction, and that was great. And this is the preview and kind of small card predictions for the AW Fighter Fest Night 1. And I hope you liked it. And please make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content like this. And I will see you guys in the next one, guys. Until then, be safe, stay energetic, and peace.